It is not the first time that Bushiri accuses Shadrack Sibiya of taking money from him. He has said this before. And also, it is not the first time that we see South Africa failing to extradite someone because of some errors in their documents. What type of legal system that we have that has failed dismally to extradite people that have committed crimes in South Africa and decided to run to their countries? In this video, I wanted us to unpack what happened on Friday. So the High Court in Malawi decided to overturn the decision of a lower court to extradite Bushiri, citing two significant errors that we're going to discuss later on in this video.
The High Court in Malawi has set aside the 12th of March 2026 order, at least 2025 order, made by the Magistrates Court in Lilongwe that directed that self-proclaimed prophet Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary must be surrendered to the South African government to face trial for various offences against them. This stems from the South African government's extradition request submitted to Malawi, seeking the pair's return to stand trial for charges, including violating bail conditions and the Immigration Act, to name a few. Following the March 2025 ruling, the Bushiri'S launched a review in the High Court, citing 14 grounds, which included their contention that they were denied the right to be heard. The High Court, in an order on Friday, that's today, the 31st of October, has found, among other things, that the magistrate did not balance the plight of the Bushiri'S, and that all in all, the hearing was one-sided.
So to those who don't know, what's the history of the matter? So this self-proclaimed prophet called Prophet Bushiri has committed serious crime, including fraud and money laundering. And he was arrested together with his wife, but later on, he was released on bail and then he ran away with his wife.
I am currently in Malawi. I came here the night of Wednesday this week. I came here for a few reasons. As we are all aware, and that I have got cases in South Africa that I have to answer. And as I promised, that I do not want to abscond from any trial in South Africa, and I will not, because it's a wish of every person to have a fair trial and to have the innocence proved before courts. I believe in the law, and I'm a law-abiding citizen. But the events that have been happening in South Africa are so much uncalled for, and I can call that I can say that there are a lot of injustices that have been happening in regards to my constitutional rights as a human being.
So yesterday he came with the bombshell that Shadrack Sibiya has been taking money from him. Hear it from him.
It was in this moment when we were also visited by one of the police officers, known as Mr. Paul. He was, I think, a Captain Paul, who said that the General of the Hawks, a department which these four police officers were coming from, would stop our case if we would give him something. I remember some of my team members going to have a meeting with this fellow general, known as General Sibiya. So much money was collected in the name of this general to stop this case, instead of the general to stop the case. So it was corruption after another corruption. Problem, you go to the authorities, they also are demanding for something, to end something.
Actually, this is not the first time. It happened, I think it was 7 years ago, if not 6 years ago, that Prophet Bushiri came and said this about the police and how he's even reported a matter with the Ipid.
As I said in the background of all the events, in 2017-18, I had a lot of problems with some people who were coming to me in the name of law enforcement, or let me say police officers, who were looking for money, to extort money from me. These people gave me tough time to extort money from me, and I opened cases against them. With the Ipid department in 2018 in South Africa. Ipid department is a department that investigates corrupt police officers, among other duties they have. In 2018, I also reported these people to the National Commission of Police. I reported this issue. After reporting to him, he referred me to the former Minister of Intelligence, Minister Bongo. He also referred me to Minister Bongo. He called the head of intelligence, his name was Fraser at that time, to hear my case. Not only that, I am told that there was General Matakata in South Africa who was informed of this issue. In 2018, when this thing was not being done, we went to the Inspector General of Intelligence as well to report this matter. That there are people who want money from me, and they're saying if I don't give them money, I will be arrested and I'll create so many cases against me. When these things were not being addressed, I thought of coming to Malawi in 2018 to involve human rights groups. And the human rights groups in Malawi wrote the South African Rights Commission, Human Rights Commission, where they addressed them that the prophet in your country is going through a lot of injustices and threats. These threats continued to a level whereby in 2018 I had to, for the safety of my kids, send my kids back home to Malawi. And as I'm speaking to you, I've been here since 2018.
So one can ask themselves, Why is it that he's naming Shadrack Sibiya now, especially since he's a really loud mouth? Bushiri, one thing you should know about him is that he does not cease to come to the public and speak his mind. It's the same as everybody else, like Bonge is the same as Kelvin Rafadi, everybody else, including Adams, Fidel Adams, everybody that feels the need for them to address the media whenever there's accusations against them. And it's so shocking that he's talking now. I don't know if he's really aware that there's a lot of backlash faced by Shadrack Sibiya, but he's naming and shaming, riding on the radar that is currently happening in South Africa, which is exposing corrupt police. But he did say it before, and even through his attorney or legal representative, that there's police that are corrupt and the police that want money from him, and he had to run to Malawi for his safety.
Ipid in 2018 by Bushiri'S lawyers, and the allegation was that there's police officers who wanted to extort some cash from Bushiri. So Ipid started with the investigation process, and in the process of trying to meet with the victim and establish what transpired, Ipid has been tried to get hold of Bushiri, but due to his busy schedule, he was not availing himself due to poor cooperation from his side, due to his non-availability to provide crucial information to Ipid that would sort of enable the directorate to continue with its investigative responsibility. As a result, the investigation into this particular matter has been sort of stalled, and Ipid communicated with him that due to his unavailability, we are waiting for him to be available and sort of provide us with more information for us to continue with this investigation. At some point, our investigators were quite keen to go with him so that they can identify the suspects, but he really has not been coming forth, and this has been a big challenge for IPID.
But one thing we ask ourselves, all of us, is that when are they going to arrest Shadrack Sibiya, because he's a corrupt that man? And if a fraudster defrauds another fraudster, because that's the situation that we see right now, it's a situation of a fraudster defrauding another fraudster. What happens? Should they arrest, listen to this fraudster or self-proclaimed or self-acclaimed prophet, Bushiri, or they should just let it be and allow the Matlala Commission to take place? Because I think that Shadrack Sibiya's time is over, and he knows that himself. But I have faith in this beautiful structure that was created called the PKTT. I believe that the PKTT will definitely arrest this man when the time is right. Remember, the strategy that was used by Mkwanazi, that you investigate, you arrest. The first arrest, then while you're still concluding the other investigations, you then make sure you give effect to the second arrest. So I have faith with the PKTT, and I think that they're definitely onto him. There's a lot of cases that are linking back Shadrack Sibiya. We've even seen with the Matlala, we've even seen with the ad hoc, that the man is as bad, and the man is dirty, and the man loves money. As they said, orata chelete, and he is willing to do anything and everything for money. Hence, they were not able to extradite Bushiri for all this time, and Bushiri was even able to run. You'll find that if you have proper investigation and further investigation into this matter, you'll find that Shadrack Sibiya is even involved with the people that have made sure that this man runs away, called Bushiri. So now he's exposing him and, riding on the waves that are busy exposing the police officers, and he's thinking, you know what, let me just try to lure people by saying my side of the story, which is the truth about Shadrack Sibiya. But what we're not realizing is that he's trying to shift the focus from him to Shadrack Sibiya. He himself, he is a criminal. And the fact that he ran away from the justice system of South Africa, citing the issues of safety, to me that is a problematic, because you ran after you received bail. It's not like he ran from prison. He received bail, meaning that the court trusted him that he's going to attend while he's outside, but he thought that it would be better and fit for him to run away. So I don't trust a man like that. But I'm not saying that I'm not going to trust what he said about Shadrack Sibiya and the police of South Africa. I'm taking it in the cupboard in my mind. I've opened a shelf and I've put that knowledge in, but I just don't trust that man. He himself is a criminal. If he's not a criminal, why is he not coming back to South Africa to face the law? As he's saying, it's not that I'm running away. Such excuses. And because there's people that are following him who are acting rather occultic, it's hard for people to criticize him and not receive a backlash. Because if your pastor is really a true pastor, man of God, why is he not going to coming back to South Africa? And if he gets imprisoned, he will do the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego situation. Or is it, I don't know if it's the Paul situation or the one situation, the one in the Bible of those people who got arrested. They sang praises, and then the chains of bondage in prison were moved from them. They were able to escape from prison. You remember that story in the Bible. So if the man of God, he is a man of God, a prophet of God, God should display the biggest miracle through him and shake the walls of prison, releasing him from the bondage of prison because he's been unlawfully charged. So I don't understand why he's running. I will never understand, even if it's saved and what. This is a man of God. He's a man of God. And why is he afraid? So that to me is very questionable. And also, another thing that I realized about Shadrack Sibiya is that he does not only go to people who are innocent and want money. He goes to people that he know are guilty and want money, such as Gatiso Molefe, such as Matlala, take care of me, I take care of you, such as Bushiri. So he doesn't just come to you when you did nothing. It's because he knows that there's a case against you, they have something against you, therefore you should pay them for their silence. Remember, I rub your back, you rub my back, I help you, you help you, you help me, just like what Matlala said. I take care of you, you take care of me. It's as simple as that. So now, I wanted us to understand the legal part of everything, the extradition itself. So let us understand what is the extradition. So the extradition has been given effect to by the Extradition Act. So what happens is that parties or different countries, they sign treaties which allows them to have the same laws when it comes to certain things, including extraditing of people, meaning that if someone committed a crime like Nandi Pamakutumane, you're going to Tanzania, if you have a treaty with Tanzania, you can ask the Tanzanian government to arrest Nandipa on your behalf and bring Nandipa in South Africa to face criminal charges or whatever charges that person is faced with. And with this Malawi situation, the lower court initially granted the extradition and they're supposed to now give effect to the extradition, but Bushiri then appealed to the High Court, and the High Court alluded to very important things, and amongst many is the Audi Alteram Partem rule. The Audi Alteram Partem rule says that I need to hear your side of the story before I can grant a certain ruling. And secondly, they said that there is lack of, and that his safety was not guaranteed, and that there was some kind of like a breach when it comes to the treaty. They did not follow the regulations, the laws of the treaty that has been signed, which allows for extraditions. And also said that this extradition might be politically motivated. And whenever extradition is politically motivated, it is mostly refused. So that's what the court based their argument. This is not the first time that we have something like this. We have we have a couple of situations in South Africa where extradition did not succeed on the same grounds. For example, that the paperwork is not good. Because remember that in order for you to extradite someone, you need to have a warrant of arrest in that request to extradite. And that the Minister of Justice needs to allow for that process to continue. And also you need to have the evidence, the crime linked to that person, as well as the evidence. So in this situation, you'll find that the problem is also not with the justice, the Minister of Justice, is also with the judiciary and the police. Because remember that the judiciary acts, or the attorneys or the legal representatives or the NPA act on the case or the evidence that has been given by the police. And remember, in such situations, it's mostly the state, which is the NPA versus the particular person. Even though, yes, there are witnesses in the process that will come and say, I was defrauded, this person is the one that defrauded me, and all of that. But it's mostly the cases of the state, which involves the NPA. So the NPA gets its case from the police, meaning it's the police that have to investigate you, find that you've been committing fraud, then take the case and give it to the NPA, who have to then adjudicate on the matter or take the matter to the court where a judge is going to look into the matter. So when it comes to this situation, if the Malawian court is saying that these people lacked evidence, clearly the police did not have enough evidence to link Bushiri to these crimes of fraud, which goes back to this thing that of unlawful convictions and why the police are failing to ensure that they have enough evidence. And I love this approach that was taken by Dumisani Khumalo, the 5-stage approach, and how they ensure that whenever they deal with you, they have overwhelming evidence that you've done something. And I think it's very important for our South African justice system and the police to get to the point that you don't just arrest someone just because you have a link of a cell phone. Ensure that you have all the evidence necessary to link that person to the crime so that such things don't happen. So now we see the fail from the police, we see the fail from the NPA. And all these people, we're supposed to make sure that the case is very strong to enable the judiciary to make the request together with the executive, which comprises of the Minister of Justice. So the Minister of Justice was supposed to ensure that they have enough evidence before this request is made. Hence, we failed. You remember the Gupta brothers. We failed to extradite the Gupta brothers. we've failed to extradite. There's a lady that was called Nomalanga Chiloto. I think it's Cheloto, who was involved in the asbestos case. And what happened is that she challenged the extradition in the High Court, and actually the court granted that. And recently we've even had Nandipha Makutuman, who even challenged the extradition, even as much as it failed, but she challenged it. And I wouldn't be shocked if she takes it to the Constitutional Court, because clearly there's something wrong with our extradition laws and the process thereof. So I also remember the Chandra Pringle, which involves a lady from Lesotho. And the court in Lesotho had the same cries as Malawian government, which means there's loopholes with our laws when it comes to extradition. If you can't extradite people like the Gupta brothers, all these people that I've mentioned, clearly there's something wrong with our laws. And the fact that people, when they get extradited, they challenge those laws in the court of law, clearly there's some discrepancies, there's some things that show that, there's something wrong with our laws. Then what should be the way forward? It seems like this is time for the legislatures to do something about the the Extradition Act. Have some amendments or regulations or whatever that is necessary to ensure that we have laws in place that are going to ensure that these extraditions are given effect to successfully. Because right now, it's like we don't even know what we're doing. It's like we don't even know what we're doing. Hence, people can come in our country, commit crimes, leave, because they know that there is the constitutional right which allows them to have bail, and they also have the section 231 of the Constitution, which says that if you go to a country, you run away from South Africa, South Africa has the right to extradite you, but they have to comply with the laws, and so far they failed. Imagine now if they appeal and the appeal is upheld when it comes to the Omotoso case, and they have to bring back Omotoso to the country. With what do you think that they will be able to successfully bring Omotoso back to the country to face the law? It's over. That is why he ran as much as he could, and they ensured that they even give him that leeway to go and run. So our laws which allow bail, they are not safeguarded enough. There's nothing we can do. We have the Constitution, the supreme law, that says that everybody has the right to fair trial and people can get bail, and that you're innocent until you're proven guilty. Hence, you get your bail. But why not have proper safeguards to ensure that people attend the trial and that people attend their cases diligently, instead of having people that are going to run in their countries and they know that we have a flawed justice system and that thing will happen to them. So I think that something definitely has to be done around the laws of extraditions, because we keep on failing. Either we fail before we extradite someone, or we extradite that person and then it's found later on that the proper procedures and processes were not followed, and that there were certain things that were still amiss. Because clearly, which means the magistrate court just saw the papers and said, okay, granted, without hearing the side of this self-acclaimed prophet. So we have a problem when it comes to this. There's a lot of problems in South Africa. And it's so worrying how everything, it seems like it's a problem. Everything. It's very problematic. What do you guys think? What do you think about Shadrack Sibiya and the fact that he got exposed by Prophet Bushiri once again? What do you think about that? And also, what do you think about these laws around extraditions? Do you think that our laws are flawed? And do you think that what should be done? Do you think that it's time for the legislatures to amend these laws so that we, especially in light of this justice system that allows for bail, that allows that people can be bailed no matter how egregious the crime they've committed is? They should go out because they are innocent until proven guilty. And people take advantage of that. They come to our country, commit crimes, do wrong things, most craziest things, thinking that I'm going to get bail either way. And after that, they'll never see me because my government is not going to allow for my extradition. And also, do you think that maybe Bushiri has bribed the judge in the High Court, allegedly? Or you just think that the court looked at this matter properly? The South African system is flawed. And people don't follow the proper procedure. They just do whap, and then they make these applications. You can't whap such processes. They're very, very important. Nonetheless, let me hear your thoughts. I will see you on my next upload. And also, yesterday I met one of you guys, and I love you guys. And yeah, if you see me, because I don't know you, but you know me. So if you see me in the street somewhere, just come greet, just be free, just come greet. I love that for me. And also, tomorrow I might upload a little bit late because I'm traveling, and yeah, it's work related, so I might come back quite late. So yeah, I might upload a little bit later on, but I'm here. We're watching the proceedings. Don't worry, and I'll give you a video if there's something that I think is necessary to discuss. Nonetheless, please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like, share, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your fiance, your husband, your children, your cousins, everybody that I'm on YouTube. See you on my next upload. Bye.